Hi.
Hi.
Mom, what are you doing here? Another day, another podcast, and another new guest. This one we've brought on because we're trying to average out the age of the show a bit better, appeal to a wider audience, an older audience, an unhealthy audience, as you could hear in those chuckles. But of course, we're very excited because this podcast is about 1.5 years in the making, because she's literally one of my tight favorite people in the world, as well as my bestie. As you can see, a lot of energy, a lot of spunk, a lot of jangle. Jingle jangle. There's a little nice audio beginning. If you're listening to this podcast, please bear with us. We know, well, you know we love you dearly. Chloe, I'm also joined with Chloe, as I am every Monday and Thursday. Chloe Dog, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Nina, thank you for coming on the podcast.
At such short notice.
Artist, actor, Instagram influencer, mother, future mother-in-law, who knows? It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
No children
like
for Chloe.
That.
Like what?
What? Nina liked that introduction.
Oh,
I love that introduction.
Wonderful. I mean, that was quite a big time to introduce you for you not to be speaking. So now that you're here, do you have anything you want to get off your chest before we start hitting you with some, let's say, hard-hitting questions? Yes, or some people say questions.
I've got a lot of things to get off my chest. Firstly, South African drivers, in fact, drivers all over the world, but really South African drivers who are just selfish. They're selfish and dumb and life-threatening. Okay, that's one thing. And the other thing is...
I think that's... Okay. Well done. You get your one.
I'm guessing you didn't Uber here.
I certainly did not Uber here.
Yes.
No.
I said you could get one thing off your chest. Now it just... Remember,
okay.
I did say in our WhatsApp interchange that this is not going to be a therapy session.
Oh, why not? Therapy is just fantastic. And I've got a lot of segues I'm going to get in.
Oh, I love it. Some harsh segues.
Chloe loves a harsh segue. What do you think about therapy, Chloe?
I think everyone needs to go to therapy.
Okay.
I definitely need to go back to therapy.
We would have a much more compassionate society
if we
were all in
books.
therapy.
100%. And therapists would be a lot richer. So
yeah, I might even
win-win.
be a therapist. Become one.
Not too late.
Well, you're also changing your accent there mid-podcast. I hope these people cotton on to this fake just...
No, Nina must do
Hello,
her...
love.
Yeah.
No,
Nina
that's
must
closed.
do her British accent. When you went to the UK, Sam was telling me you completely transformed in the first 3 days you were there.
I did. But that's actually a throwback to the 80s when I was there for an extended period of time and I was confused with Australian heritage, and that really pissed me off. So I just actually went out of my way to sound English because I didn't want to be saying, oh, where are you from in Australia?
Hiya.
Okay. A throwback to the 80s. That's quite hard for quite a lot of our viewers or listeners, considering they weren't born. The internet didn't exist.
Look, I'm hoping for some age-related, appropriate questions. That's all I can say.
Like PG-16 or what are you talking?
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Okay, PG-16. Should we get started with some show and tell, maybe?
Yes.
What have you brought along? Very exciting.
As you know, if this is the first time you're watching the episode, if you're from TikTok or wherever in the world, we do show and tell once a week with our guests, and then we do show and tell on our own show, KETS and Chlo. So check it out. But Nina has now got her show and tell ready. It looks flowery. Take us through it.
This is my show. And well, actually, you've got to take yourselves through it. But, you know, presentation is everything. So I'm wanting you to acknowledge this lovely
This
sort of
is beautiful.
Peru
Beautiful
wool.
packaging.
Beautiful packaging. Pink because of, you know, kidsy toast. And the rest
Obviously.
you've got to actually unpack and I'll take you through it.
Oh, we've got to unpack it.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are gifts.
my
Gifts.
goodness.
Gifts are my love language.
Gifts.
Samuel's looking.
Sammy, some sparkling water
Lovely
for the
stuff.
apartment. Oh, and it's cold. Thank you so much. Sam, do you want to take out another one? Or
Samuel
should I?
is already looking disappointed, and I just have to say, people who don't know him, he gets very freaked out by bad gifts, and so he's probably going to have a slight mini meltdown here, which is why I've kind of tried to make these generic.
Okay.
Okay. Can I take out
No,
another
you take
one,
them
or
out,
do you-
Chloe. You go.
Okay. Next thing I got, some lotion. Ultra caring moisturizer for dry and sensitive skin.
Okay, I just want to talk you through this one. This is a shared product. This is Epimax. It's not too pricey. This comes dermatologist recommended. I saw my derm yesterday.
God, Nina, the influencer, bringing on her.
9 out of 10 dermatologists recommend.
No, seriously, but this is really good. And you can mix in lovely peeps out there, I know the age group is quite young, but you can mix in your retinol at night into this and your vitamin C in the morning into this.
Lovely.
This can go on the body, the face, everywhere. It's fantastic. Go Epimax.
All right, so what else is in this bag of tricks?
Ooh la la. Some garlic butter baguettes.
Is that opened already?
Those are 2 fresh ones, unopened, and this is just to keep kidsy toast going. You know, like you can toast those.
Okay, we're going to speed these up a bit. So there we go, some lovely flowers. That was very nice. Color of the
Beautiful.
set. Not real. No, they smell delicious. And then it looks like we've got some pastries.
Nina.
Lovely. Sorry for that. Some lovely Danish pastries. Thank you,
This
Mother.
is-
What is your story with these? Because that is the concept of show and tell, but I will accept it on the grounds that now we have more food.
It's just sharing.
Okay, so...
There's no story behind show and tell.
No, that is the whole point of show and tell.
Okay, well, I'll try and get a bit in underrated, overrated.
Okay, there we go. I love this is quite a common guest trend. Guests come on and they tell us how the show works. We almost all of our guests say, no, that's actually not how underrated works, or this is what's going on. It is hot in here.
Yeah.
Bringing the heat. You brought the heat this lockdown, and Chloe will touch on it a bit more because she's absolutely infatuated with
Lockdown Lovelies, which you did create during lockdown. Can you walk us through that? How would you explain it to like a Rondebosch mom?
A Rondebosch mom, okay.
Yeah.
It essentially was born out of the hard lockdown when we were first hit with COVID, and we actually were just, hit for 6 and we didn't know what was going on. And I wanted to do something to feel that I was kind of connected to people and without actually physically being able to see them. And it was very partnered up with Samuel. I mean, I couldn't have done it without him. And it brought a whole focus to the day, because there was this whole thing of choosing what outfit I was going to wear and what makeup and whatever, and then the kind of gags or stories behind it, because I didn't just want it to be a fashion kind of thing. Oh, look what I'm wearing today. But it kind of became little narratives, and because I come from an acting background, it was like little, I don't know, just little scenes. And we had great...
scene. Isn't that what they do in the acting world?
And scene.
And scene. Is how you end the scene.
No, it's cut.
Oh. We are amateur production.
My favorite part was "Hello, Lockdown Lovelies." I just love that.
What's your introduction? Let's hear how you used to introduce these videos, because we will also put links in the video or the description box, and you guys have to go and watch Lockdown Lovelies. It is probably the best thing to come out of lockdown, except Chloe's baking habits, which is also very profitable for everyone.
Yeah, I think maybe Lockdown Lovelies was kind of like your coping mechanism for lockdown.
But wait, we never got to introductions. How do you do
I can't remember my introductions.
Hello, my
That was a blip, but it was generally, hello, Lockdown Lovelies. And God, I sound something out of, I don't know what, one of those dog ladies. That was it. It was just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, another lovely accent there, another new taste, that more Western Australian. But Chloe, you were onto something before I brought it back to the introduction.
Yes. No, yeah. So I was saying that, I mean, don't let me speak for you, but I think that maybe Lockdown Lovelies was a sort of coping mechanism for you. Mine was baking bread vigorously, lots of sourdough. Sam, what was your coping mechanism?
My coping mechanism, well, I filmed a lot of Lockdown Lovelies, and it was a very interesting process, a lot of swearing, a lot of hatred, but ultimately a lot of good content was created, and Nina attracted a massive niche following, if that's such a thing.
I think because maybe for people who haven't seen it, this was posted every day during lockdown, right? Or at least you tried to post it every day.
In the hard lockdown, it was kind of, was very...
Yeah, welcome.
No, I've got very, very insecure now about my accents. I can't help it. I'm an actress and a mimic, and I'm good with languages. And if I'm talking to someone, not that these two have got English accents, but if I'm in a place where people are, doing a different accent, I just kind of take it on. But it was, they were every day, and it was definitely my coping mechanism. And the thing that was fantastic was the repartee and all the people's comments that made me feel like I was at a party. I was like seeing my friends, made new friends, people I didn't know were commenting. It was kind of turned into quite an euphoric experience, apart from, when I didn't get enough likes and then I was bad and swearing.
Yes, Nina turned into like
behaved.
a mom influencer, hungry for likes. And if she didn't get those likes, it was too terrible. Yeah, but it was also, so that was part of my lockdown coping mechanism. I also loved watching my dad run 5Ks in the garden. There was something truly beautiful about that. But yeah, so Lockdown Lovelies actually inspired KETS. Because KETS, as you all know, is art. And to see my mother Nina pursue something so relentlessly with such creative vigor and lack of fear, well, that promoted this art. And it's art that you guys now get to enjoy every Monday and Thursday. And as I came from her loins, so did KETS came from...
Yes, I birthed KETS.
So she birthed me, she birthed KETS in more ways than one. So it's fantastic.
Yeah. But you also had a lot of different characters on Lockdown Lovelies. What was your favorite? I really enjoyed Vanessa. Is that Vanessa?
Oh, Vanessa. No, Vanessa was like this. Vanessa was like, and she was a real person, Vanessa. Yeah. She was from Pinelands, and she was a swimmer. Yeah, I liked her.
Mine was the Russian lady.
I also think I love the Russian lady.
Do the accent?
Do you want a vodka? Do you want
Russian accents are so sexy. I mean, not your Russian. That's a bit weird.
No, but generally they are.
What do you think of Oedipus complexes?
Oedipus complex. I think they exist.
What's that?
Oedipus complex is Oedipus complex.
Your octopus,
is when you have this desire, unconscious desire, to kill your father,
so you can marry your mother
and sleep with your mother.
I want to kill my father and sleep with my mother. That was actually German, not Russian.
German, Russian.
Maybe that was a mix between the two.
I like Serbian, actually. Beren! No, I can't do it now on demand. But Serbian is probably my best accent.
Would you say your youngest child, Rupert, has an Oedipus complex? The silence is damning.
The silence is damning. No. I think we all really look for our mothers and fathers, in relationships coming up.
It's crazy because I was also going to ask you, do you think we do marry our mothers? Well, men marry their mothers and women marry their fathers. Is that true?
I think there is some truth in it, yeah. And
so
I think
what
it's
happens
a totally
with lesbians?
Natural. I don't know. Maybe they just marry their mothers, or the same thing. But other sex, if you know what I mean.
That's true. She got you there. Yeah,
she did. I thought LGBTQ sirens might go off with Nina's next statement, but she came prepared.
No, she got you there.
No, I'm prepared. I'm prepared for anything.
Chloe, have you married your father?
I am not married.
She's not married.
No, I'm still unmarried.
You're seeing.
I can still enter Miss South Africa. Well, I don't think you like my dad, no.
No, polar opposites.
Honestly, I have to interrupt here. Is that a thing? You cannot be married for Miss South Africa.
Do you not watch our podcasts?
I watch 95% of them.
No, I can respect that. But what we were talking about in one of the podcasts was that you can't be engaged to be married, you can't be married, and you can't have had a marriage annulled.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of Catholic stuff there.
Yeah, it is quite strange. That's what we were thinking, maybe that there should be a Mrs. South Africa,
Yeah.
for older women. Would you enter that?
I would enter that. I'd be very left of centre.
I would love to see you entered in that.
Has anyone ever called you a MILF?
No, sadly not.
Do you think people let us know in the comments if my mom's a MILF?
No, Samuel,
please don't.
No.
That would just break me, okay? Really, I've got a very, very fragile ego.
I'm also very fragile, and people in the comments can be brutal. I try not to read them.
The latest comment for Chloe, someone called her a dompus.
How horrible!
That certainly is so far off what you are that
Thank you, Nina.
one just ignores that.
Chloe is something else. Very intelligent, beautiful, radiant.
Yeah.
The love of my life, a ray of sunlight.
And very funny.
Guys.
Very funny indeed.
This is very sweet.
But we're speaking about generational things and hand-downs and MILFs and parents and moms and sons. You love second-hand shopping. Some would say you have an issue.
Nina loves to thrift.
Yeah,
Loves.
I would go so far as to say I'm addicted. I'm addicted to thrift shopping. I've said it. I'm addicted to actually just rooting around in anywhere, like cash converters. I have to admit, I know I'm probably buying people stuff. They can't afford stuff. They put it in for money, and I will go and buy it because it's a good bargain.
Facebook Marketplace?
I'm not on Facebook, and I don't think I ever will be. If I haven't been at this point, I'm probably missing out on a lot, but actually I've got to limit what,
This is true.
my portals, as it were.
You were hilarious so I was helping out with the secondhand clothing sale like a month ago.
Vintage with love.
Vintage with love,
Fuck 'em.
And Nina and her friend Susie come along, and they literally took half the store, put it in the back room, and then proceeded to make that room into their very own private changing room. It was hilarious. I think you guys did buy a lot, but you just hoarded half of it. Everyone was like, "Where's that top that I was thinking of getting?"
No. I was very much hurrying Susie up to stuff that we weren't taking to then take out. Was it walking around bra and undies? I think going back into the main section to put stuff back because I did feel bad that we were potentially,
there was
holding
a
back the sale.
guy who tried to go to the bathroom, and he was like, "I think I just walked in on your mother-in-law, butt naked."
Butt naked in a vintage.
It's really funny. And then because Nina and Susie are similar sizes, so they'd get each other to try on the outfit that they wanted to do and do a 180.
Yeah.
See if they liked how it looked.
But I mean, you're clearly a fashion icon. And when we think of fashion icons or people in the fashion space, we think of Joan Rivers. Yes or no?
No.
Okay, well, anyway, I'll proceed with my question.
Oh.
So Joan Rivers once said, she was fashion police.
I'm sorry, this could just kill your show, but I don't even know who Joan Rivers is.
I'm going to show you a picture of Joan Rivers and you're going to be so humiliated with yourself.
Yeah, Joan
your
Rivers.
book club is going to be
Honesty
destroyed.
is everything.
How does Joan Rivers... She's got I think she's definitely got like a smoker's voice.
This is Joan Rivers. She's an American
Oh,
comedian
yeah, I do
who
know
did
her.
Fashion
Sorry,
Police.
I take it back. I know her. It's, I'm dealing with menopause or even post-menopause hormones.
What
any
is
brain
menopause?
fog.
Because, again, we primarily speak to quite a young audience. So what is menopause and would you recommend it?
No, menopause is quite a hectic thing. And again, it's different, not again, but different people have different reactions to it. And some people suffer very badly as you get young people who have very bad PMS and you lie down in bed for 2 days when they get their period. You get some people and in fact, women who have bad periods generally go through quite a hectic menopause, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. So something to look forward to. And others kind of breeze through it. But, you look at kind of hormone replacement therapy. You basically, you get a dip in your hormones because you're not now fertile and producing enough estrogen, progesterone, testosterone because you're not in the thing of making babies. And with it comes a whole lot of very irritating physical, emotional, mental kind of stakes. So
women just go through the most.
women go through. As we
have
speak,
to
I feel like I'm having a hot flash. I'm sweating profusely. It's
Not
the
to worry,
lights.
it's the lights.
It's the lights.
It's the lights.
No, we do. From the age of once we start basically
bleeding every
month, we are
cramps.
We are just prone to a whole lot of
Worrying
things.
about getting pregnant,
having
birthing
to
a
go on
baby.
birth controls, pills, fertility.
It's too much.
It is nonstop.
Yeah, it is depressing.
Okay, well, I must circle back because I have been accused by many people who love this podcast about starting a point and then just wandering off and never coming back to it. So to come back to Joan Rivers, we can now all establish that we know. And I think she died fairly recently, about 2015. Oh, God, so many people have died now that it's just almost anonymous. But anyway, her big quote was that when she quoted herself on her show, as she did many times, she said she succeeded by simply saying what others were thinking. So what does this outfit say about what you are thinking?
Well, I think it says that I have a very strong need to express myself through my body. And fashion's a great way of kind of individualizing yourself in a fairly non-individualized world. And I'm a colorist. In my art, I really love color. I love black and white as well, but I've got a feel for color. Mm-hmm. And I love how someone, and I do just have to mention her, but, someone very current with fashion is Trini Woodall. And I love the way that she just has made colour so flipping sexy and attractive. And, people just go, so what, I'm dressed head to toe in neon yellow. This is very bright. This incorporates a lot of my favorite colours. And I just think that, you just want to be able to express yourself in whether it's high shoes. I've got quite an off sort of fashion sense. I mean, I've been wearing odd combinations for many, many years, but I love it. And I think the whole thing with fashion and expressing yourself through your clothes is kind of, there's a shout out to what is in fashion, but also just what is in with you and your body type and what suits you and what you love.
Chloe, would you describe yourself as fashionable?
No, I describe myself as pretty basic.
Okay, I think you're selling yourself short then.
No, Sam almost had a meltdown. I think that he thought that he had started dating someone with zero fashion sense. I tried to put together an outfit for him. We were going to a 70s party and he was disappointed, to say the least. So
you may have picked up quite now. I'm quite fussy and particular, but what Chloe threw together looked like what some drunk Englishman would wear
really wasn't that
in
bad.
Jamaica, thinking he's been fashionable. So it was sunburn and all. Terrible.
I think I can put together a very simple outfit well, but I think I cannot compete with Nina.
No, but it's not about competing. I think you've got a great fashion sense.
Thank you.
It's a very clean, classic kind of look, which I often really aspire to, and I can't do it. It's like, I love a minimalist house, love going into these lovely spaces. I cannot live like that. I'm an eclectic. I'm a hunter-gatherer, hoarder, more is more, etc. And I find it very difficult to pare down. And I think Chloe's got that beautifully done.
Thank you.
Lovely stuff. So it sounds like you're handing out quite a bit of free advice here.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a younger Nina?
A younger Nina, I would say, try not to, and I'm still saying this to myself at the age of 56, just try not to be too bogged down by other people's opinions. Yeah.
That's good. No, short and sharp. Sometimes we ask this question and people don't
waffle on. I could tell you a lot of things, but I think that really is.
Chloe, are you 100%. Often held down by people's opinions, perceptions?
100%.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, that surprises me.
I try not to be, but I am. Yeah.
Okay. I don't care. That's
I
probably,
know, yeah.
That's your most redeeming.
Yes.
That I don't care.
Sam has got, and I really admire this, an unwavering confidence. Like, he's got such confidence in himself, that no one would reject you. No one would.
Mean, this is not just white male confidence. I mean, that's a base level of confidence. I take this to the moon and back.
Yeah.
Correct.
He does, yeah. And it's a lovely, lovely thing. I birthed him.
You birthed him, that's true. So you're also a fantastic supporter of sport. You've got high standards, not too much knowledge about the game, but you will always be the loudest person in the stands. Do you think the Proteas can win the Cricket World Cup?
This one?
Yes. I couldn't ask you about the past ones. That would be a bit bizarre, wouldn't it?
It's such a loaded question, and I'm already now thinking as the 56-year-old who's worrying about opinions and whatever. I know that I go as a cynic and a pessimist and a realist and whatever.
Which is interesting, because I don't think anyone who meets you or anyone listening to the podcast would attribute any of those qualities to you.
Yeah, no, I think I've got quite an analytical and sort of mind, and I like to weigh things up, and I often think it's like a kind of protective mechanism that goes on, where I think if I've thought something bad, like this could happen, then it won't happen because I've thought it.
Do
you also have it?
Yes. The minute I think like, oh, I've thought that this will happen, it can't.
Yeah.
100%.
Which is not even, based on any kind of fact, because I have thought stuff and it has happened. So, but I still kind of go with that. So, my feeling to that answer to that question is, no, I don't think they can. And another part of me goes, of course they can.
They're the Proteas.
Well, yeah. So if you thought Chloe's rugby commentary was ambiguous to say the least, Nina's was something else. So let's try a more shortened version of this. Do you think the Proteas can win the T20 World Cup?
No.
Okay. There you have it.
I've spoken. The tribe has spoken.
Chloe, do you think the Proteas could win the T20 World Cup?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course they can win. Anyone can
Who's
win.
the captain
That's
of our
the
team
point.
at present?
Graham Smith. I knew that he wasn't.
So cute. She's just saying it for the thing.
The tribe has spoken. I think that is what should happen. Nina,
I'm not sure quite what.
What are you talking about?
I'm
Chloe?
saying the
The
tribe.
CSA tribe.
I remember when Sam used to live at home, I would come down some nights and Nina would be like, Survivor's on. And I'd actually never watched Survivor before. I was watching with you. And I just love the tactics, the drama, the manipulation that goes along with Survivor. So what would be your tactics if you were to go on Survivor?
My tactics. This is a minefield for me because it's games and I love games. I'm very competitive. I think I would really work on this sort of emotional thing of trying to get everyone to like me and, playing kind of quite sort of a head game, but also kind of looking like I wasn't too planny, like, oh no, did she say that about me? I certainly wouldn't be the one like hiding stuff, whatever that one did in trees and...
The immunity idol.
People, immunity idol. But I must say, I would be, as my hunter-gatherer forager, like I would be looking 24/7. I probably wouldn't sleep on Survivor. I'd be just looking for immunity idols left,
Where
right,
is
and
this
centre.
hunter-gatherer theme? I've never heard yourself refer to yourself as a
Really?
hunter-gatherer. Now you've done about 3 times in the space of 20 minutes.
No, it's what I do see myself as. And I think it's a kind of a women thing, really. We've always, back...
There were some tough times with my school lunches growing up. Wasn't the strongest hunter-gatherer, if you catch my drift.
Well, I was trying to teach you to be a hunter-gatherer, to swap out, to look in the bins, to go to the younger grades.
It's quite funny.
Survivor is older than Chloe?
I thought you say is older than Chloe, and I was like, probably.
It's the same age as you.
Really?
It's 2000 was
Really,
the
yeah.
first airing.
Wow.
And I've had some moments. I've had moments of hearing. Remember Hyun Bin?
One of my best friend from South Korea, they lived in Cape Town. It hasn't been confirmed if he has survived the Squid Game, so I'll send him a message to check up on that. But he, at dinner one day, somehow knew who had won Survivor. This was back in the day, so people would record it on videotapes and then watch it, and like very archaic sort of stuff. And we were obviously going to watch it a bit later, and he had watched it in the week already. And he told my mom who the winner of Survivor was. And you've never seen someone throw such a temper tantrum towards I think at the time, a 10-year-old boy. She wouldn't speak to him. She shouted at him initially, and then she just ignored him for must have been 10 days, a fortnight.
I was really bad. I had like such a visceral reaction to, and it was like he kind of locked eyes with me, and before he said who'd won, and I'm a surprise person. I love surprises. No one else in my family really likes them. I love, a good surprise. I don't want like a kind of, ooh, is this a plant for Christmas? Kind of surprise. But I really love surprises, and it was like he actually knew that he was just kind of ending my...
Some would say it was the first real spoiler of the 21st century. Do you enjoy a spoiler, Chloe, or do you find your personality to be spoiling?
Who likes a spoiler?
Maybe some. I mean, it's like masochists, sadists, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe they like spoilers, but no, I hate spoilers.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what's going to happen.
Well,
Again.
what's not a spoiler is that Jeff Probst will be the host of Survivor until he dies.
I love him.
Do you think he's all natural, or there must be some nip and tuck in there?
No, I'm sure there's nip and
Nip
tuck.
tucking, injecting.
Yeah, and I must just say, I'm going to use this as a platform. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a nip and tuck. Really. I mean, it's like those kind of people, those skinny people who say, why are you on a diet? It's like some people have good, high, fast metabolisms and are naturally skinny and can eat what the flip they like. And there are other people who've got bad genetics of very wrinkly faces and saggy skin and blah, blah, blah. And why can't they do something about that? Don't flipping judge.
Exactly.
Hey?
Okay.
Someone's looking horrified.
No, you haven't had any procedures done, have you?
You have no idea.
Well, they certainly aren't showing.
Natural, yeah.
It's all natural. No,
What?
I've had actual procedures.
What a mess. No, but I agree with it. I think fundamentally people should just do exactly what they want to do.
Well, no, because then people might just kill or
No,
whatever.
without infringing on others'
Yeah.
basic rights.
Do what they want with their own bodies.
Well, I mean, again, that's...
Again, yeah.
Come on, Chloe. We just covered this topic.
Okay. Okay, but we actually haven't touched on your art, which we probably should, seeing as Nina is an artiste. So you are exhibiting at a Joburg art fair, which is pretty much as big as it gets. So, do you feel like you've made it?
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm very hard on. No, I'm hard on myself, and I keep, you're kind of as good as the last show. It's like a play or movie. You're as good as your last, whatever. So you always push yourself. It is great that I'm at the Joburg Art Fair, and I've done Cape Town Art Fair. I've had a solo booth, which was amazing. I do feel very lucky. I'm not going to use that B word.
Blessed.
And
I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. And it's just a blessing. Count your blessings.
No, like that. And the people who've made it like, years back, and then they kind of, people go, who are they? It's like you've got to keep making it on the daily. It's like if you guys just took your foot off the accelerator, we get kids eat what? Sorry, but
people already don't know how to... It's KETS. KETS. Someone called it KETS.
Lots of people have called
ketamine.
People also want a nickname for
I think
our
we
watches.
got close to the Toasties or the Butter Brigade.
I
haven't heard Butter Brigade.
It's a bit much. Aslam,
I think it's quite cute, but
Toasties is also
I like
cute.
Toasties.
Yeah, it's short, it rolls off the tongue. But now that we're speaking about art a bit, I want to speak about my favorite person in this area, and that's Vincent van Gogh, a world-renowned ENT and less known artist. And what I like about Vincent, old Vinny, is that he brings very interesting sort of things to mind, like the fact that he's only famous posthumously. So it's no secret that he had quite a troubled life.
Yeah.
Relationships, money, the whole... Basically, he suffered dearly. And now he's got no idea that he's dead. I mean, who knows what happens when we exit this life. But from a life of suffering where his art is not noticed, it's not admired, he reaps none of the benefits of all of that hard labor. Do you sometimes stay up at night, ever wondering if that could be your fate? Fame reaching you
posthumously? Not really. I mean, I wouldn't mind it just for your guys, because...
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. That'd be great if your artwork went from 50,000 to 500 million.
Benefit. And I mean, shame. Vincent, well, he had Theo, that his brother, who I think was the only person who bought from him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's your barter.
And yeah, I think it's kind of sad when that happens, because, and I think as an artist, it is from... I think all artists just have this really innate desire to kind of express themselves and to put out stuff. And it's not so much... And I've done work where I go, I'm so happy with that. It is brilliant. I love it. And it doesn't sell and it doesn't get much kind of, thumbs up. And I go, I don't care, because I know that that's a great piece. But at the same time, I think you do want recognition. And I think it's the same as like, when you're an actress, which is where I come from, you can act. And I used to literally sit in my room when I was young, and I had one of those lovely dressing tables, recessed mirrors. I used to come home from school, and I'd sit and tell stories and act for myself. And I loved it. That honestly, I think that's where I'm going to. I'd love to go back to these chats, which is maybe where Lockdown Lovelies also is.
You just need a camera in there.
I just need a camera. But... But I think you do rely on audience. There is this thing of someone witnessing, and I still do it. You're going to laugh, but I mean, yesterday in the bathroom, I sit at the dining room table, and no one's in the house. The builders haven't arrived, and patients haven't arrived, and I'll sit and give a talk about my art, actually, and kind of my surrealist automatism and whatever.
I quite like that.
And
though.
I think no one's recorded this. Just like I want cameras everywhere. Or I do it in the bathroom, and I'm giving makeup. I'm saying how you put your makeup on, or like. And no one's.
What's that movie with Jim Carrey? The Truman Show. You would have loved that, wouldn't you?
We should have had like a GoPro, maybe. Like stuck to
that's
your
what I need.
head.
Because I think some of my best moments, are like unseen.
Oh, Sam and I also, we have these conversations. We're like, that was hilarious. Why weren't we recording?
Yeah.
You know,
But I also think there's something nice in distinguishing what's real in terms of you making it as part of your art or your podcast, and then what's actually just your life. It's good to have a distinction. I think it would be a living nightmare to be in that sort of Truman Show, everything recorded.
Yes,
your life is
Yes.
actually I mean, look at the Kardashians. They can't hold a relationship down.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There is something about that incessant, and there's something distasteful about it. And this also, I just have to segue or carry on, whatever. But there's that fine line between kind of promoting yourself and, and keeping that, the advertising and the stuff going on the daily, and where it just gets a bit much. And,
Yeah, so remember to like, subscribe, follow Nina on Instagram.
Oh, yes, okay. I thought I was going for KETS
okay,
again.
yes.
And
follow me.
of course, kids. But no, you do have to self-promote. But
Yeah.
touching back on Vincent, I asked that question tongue-in-cheek because the great irony is you've probably had a career 10 times as successful as Vincent's while he was alive.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I refer to him as Vincent. Like he's my old friend.
I know. Vinny Van Gogh is the
Vinny
American
Vinny the
call.
painter.
Vinny's at least funny, but
Do
Vincent...
you know what period he's from? What his art is?
Renaissance.
No.
Bingo, and you?
Really?
No, I said bingo. Sorry,
I thought bingo was right.
no.
Bingo's usually when it's right.
Vincent van Gogh, the expressionist movement. I don't know.
No, he's not surreal. What is he?
I think he's impressionist.
Oh, this is
Impression-
another
I
one of
was
your
so
questions,
close.
or you don't know the answer.
Okay, just
We're getting to toast trivia, but
Renaissance is very, very far off what he was.
yeah. But I mean, you genuinely have a passion for creating art, whether it's acting, performing, painting. But I think some people have described things that are excruciatingly boring, like watching paint dry. So would you agree? Do you watch paint dry often?
No, well, especially not with acrylic. Acrylic dries too very, very fast. Like
Too fast.
even priming my canvases, they dry pretty fast. Oil takes a bit of time, but oil you can just keep working into. So no, watching paint dry, that's ridiculous. Paint dries very quickly.
You know, people get paid to do that.
What?
Paid to watch paint dry.
Really? Where?
Yeah, there's this guy who works for Dulux. I don't know what his name is.
Dr. Chlo and Thomas.
Okay.
One of the most famous
doctor?
world paint dry watchers ever.
No, you talking nonsense.
No,
That's real.
Sam is actually telling the truth. And
He's a hero of mine.
But he is actually a scientist. So
Okay.
he watches it dry under a microscope, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He said it's very exciting.
No, that I
actually.
can imagine being quite exciting. Anything under microscope is pretty wild.
Pretty exciting, yeah.
Yeah.
Penis
Yeah.
joke there. That's waiting to be had.
Oh, no. Pen 15. I was dying to say it. I've said it on the pod. Pen 15. Why? It's so childish.
That's what you used to write in grade 3. Hey, do you want to join my club? Pen 15. And
On
then you
your
wrote
arm.
pen 15 and went, in all caps across your forearm, penis. Comedy gold, people.
Okay, I've got a question. I mean, never mind. I sort of thought I'd be interviewing you two. I quite like it. Just swing the roles. How would you describe art as give it a gender. Give art a gender.
Non-binary.
Yeah?
Yeah, fluid, gender fluid.
Okay.
I would never attribute art to have been like masculine or feminine.
No, yeah.
There are definitely pieces of art that are masculine and art that you go as feminine.
Okay, so that's maybe your response to kind of where we are at this day and age. But I mean, art for centuries and centuries and centuries was totally male.
Really?
You couldn't. Yeah, it was the male gaze. So it was all what men looked at. There were female artists weren't really allowed. I mean, there was an amazing. I'm reading a really interesting book called Still Life at the moment, and there was the only way in like the 1500s that a woman could do art was if your father happened to be an artist and you might go into his room, I don't know, at some time, sneak in.
Toothbrushes.
Yeah. Or if you were in a convent. So the nuns kind of could get up to art. And there was this amazing Italian, I don't know what her name is, sister in the 1500s.
Sister Bettina.
She was which I also love because I'm kind of self-taught, but she was a self-taught artist who'd kind of almost in those days run the equivalent of workshops in this nunnery.
Wow.
Yeah. It was very interesting.
I would almost describe art as that early art as feminine because it had so many like nude nude paintings of women. But I guess
that's from the male gaze. The women weren't.
You've actually posed nude before.
I have.
Do you know how I know this?
How?
Yeah. So So my mom, she went out for a walk. She walked our dogs, and she comes home and she goes, "Has Nina ever posed nude before?" And I go, whoa.
What you doing in Cairn Park?
What happened on this walk? And she actually bumped into one of her old friends. She'd seen I was dating Sam Holmes on Facebook. She was like, "I know Nina Holmes. She's posed nude before for a painting class that I took." So what was that like?
That I quite enjoyed. Well, it actually began in Joburg when I was pretty sick and I couldn't actually do anything except sit around. So I was not paid to sit around to get painted. And that was the beginning really of my love of art, because I'd sit in these, they were generally, all I did once sit for an all-male group, which was kind of creepy. And he's a famous artist now, and I've now just totally forgotten his name, but he does kind of very movie-esque. He lives in Kenilworth, actually.
I thought you were going to say it's William Kentridge.
It's going to come to me. He's got quite a generic name, but I would sit with in these female groups of about, sometimes there would be 20 women, and I'd kind of walk around at tea time and see all the different, representations of me, and from different angles, different artists, different skill levels, etc. And that's when I then go home and I start doing my own thing at home, and that was really the beginning of art for me.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I've been called an exhibitionist. I think I don't really mind showing stuff. I don't mind exposing myself.
Yeah, well, I think being an artist is a lifelong commitment, and it takes many shapes and forms. Chloe, are you ready for some toast trivia? Because this is a comedy podcast, not too many laughs had, quite serious this one, and that's just fine. Sometimes you need to be serious about your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are some bizarre toast trivia that we have lined up. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to do your best to give me an answer. Okay. Number 1. What is the most common color of toilet paper in France?
Pink.
Yes.
How did you know that?
Oh my God, Nina's going to be amazing at this.
How did you
look?
No.
Have you been?
Did I look? My vision is so bad that I can see round the corner
Looking
with no
at my
glasses
notes.
on.
Okay. Number 2.
How did you know that?
I took a wild flipping stab guess.
I love that. Okay, number 2.
So French people look at the set, they go, toilet paper.
Toilet paper is
Oui,
oui. Oui, oui, bien sûr.
Native to the Caribbean, what sort of animal is the mountain chicken?
Mountain chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It's a god. Nose.
It's not a god.
It's a rabbit. Buck.
Incorrect.
It's a frog.
A frog.
A
okay.
frog, yes. Okay.
No, that one I didn't get.
No.
Take a gander at where was the fortune cookie invented?
Where?
Yeah.
Well, obvious kind of thing we think is China, so it probably isn't.
That's where COVID was invented. I'm trying to still make this concept stick.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The fortune cookie, let's say, somewhere in Africa?
No. San Francisco. How crazy is that?
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Who famously and drunkenly once said, "My dear..."
Oscar Wilde.
Hey.
Let her get the question out.
My dear,
No, you start the question again.
Okay.
You can't hear what's happening.
Isn't it
now.
Oscar Wilde?
No.
I know what you're going to say. This is the question. My dear, you may be drunk now or something, but you'll still be ugly in the morning.
Okay.
But tomorrow I shall be sober and you will still be ugly.
I honestly thought that was Oscar Wilde.
It's Winston Churchill.
Oh, that's right.
That was the only toast trivia that I actually knew.
No. But if I'd been given time, I would have remembered that, because I was trying to think of someone.
So yeah, Winston Churchill's famous quote is, "My dear, you are ugly, but tomorrow I shall be sober and you will still be ugly."
Well,
the
that's
great
so
irony
ironic, is that he's still ugly.
He's very
still
ugly. He's a super ugly person.
Imagine if your Tinder date said that to you. You're just out having some drinks. He's saying you're ugly and tomorrow you'll still be ugly.
That wouldn't be a good thing
That
to say
wouldn't
to
You know
a
what
Tinder
I
date.
would love to be able to do is to be able to rate people after your Tinder date.
God, I thought you said rape. Oh, my word.
Nina.
No, jeez.
This podcast says degenerator. I haven't even said that much this podcast, but you this is what happens. You get two women chatting to each other, and they're
No, that's why they don't allow women in bars. Why they didn't used to allow them in bars.
Okay, let's end this off. What do the M's in M&M stand for?
Multiple munching madness.
no.
Mars and Murray. Those are who created them. The guys who created them, yeah.
I should know. I've been to the store in New York.
It's not that impressive. It's a chocolate store.
I love the
No,
M&M
it was
store.
quite impressive. It was impressive that it was open at some godforsaken hour and that there were people in there at like 3 a.m. buying chocolates.
Yeah, people are addicted to sugar. People are addicted to crack. We won't touch too much on
And
that.
coffee.
And
Coffee makes me feel hopeful about humanity.
for all of 1 hour.
All of 1 hour.
And then you need to go
I've
shit yourself.
great thoughts. Yeah, and that's the best thing. Bowel movements and great thoughts and hopeful about humanity. What else? That's what there
Okay,
is.
I think you were maybe better suited for like a sort of Gwyneth Paltrow Goop Project podcast, but we'll power through to overrated, underrated. You're giving me strong Gwyneth Paltrow vibes at the moment. Okay,
She can cook a roast chicken, so can I.
so overrated, underrated here with Nina, and you've got a chance to obviously say whether it's overrated,
Or maybe not.
underrated, or perfectly rated, and then you have a brief explanation for why you've done it. All right. Is giving birth overrated or underrated?
It is underrated. I think it's one of the most extreme things you can go through. And I was very lucky to go through it 3 times naturally without, and it's just.
Okay, giving
Something else.
birth, underrated. Is Quentin de Kock overrated or underrated?
Oh, I'm going to have to just say at this point he's overrated. But he's a flipping awesome
Awesome.
wiki. Awesome Victor Matfield wiki.
Victor Matfield wiki, that's an
Awesome.
odd image to look at.
Yeah, he couldn't get down, I don't think.
Thrifting?
Thrifting is totally flipping underrated. I mean, honestly, it's like my purpose almost.
Oh my
I hate
word.
to say it, not really, but you know what I mean. It really is
That's quite something.
Da Vinci's
Immunity idols.
underrated. They
Yeah.
can swing things so radically. At the last minute, when you think no one has got them or they're all done, out you come with your immunity idol. Ticket to the big bucks.
The big bucks. And finally, lockdown lovelies. Overrated or underrated?
Oh, please. I mean, I don't think I have done one overrated. It was very underrated. I mean, I thought I'd get a following of about 5 million, or at least in the thousands.
I expect 5 million, but 1,000 also fine.
Thousands, okay. I'm sitting with like now about 712 followers, which I'm loving and very grateful for. And actually, I don't care now at this point. I just do what I like. And I hope, even if one person goes, that made my day, I do feel really happy about that.
Yeah. Well,
Genuinely.
We hope that this podcast made your day. Again, a slightly different pace. We changed it up a bit, but I'm still very glad that we've had this conversation. Nina, Mamacita, thank you so much for coming. It's always nice to see you, especially considering the fact that you are my mother. Yes, and you brought food, which even if they're
Snacks.
2 garlic rolls out of the 6, we will still take them with open arms. You're fantastic. I do still think your fame wave is coming, and
Yes.
I do think it is coming before you perish. So stick on in there. We love you lots.
We'll
Thank
have
you, darling.
all of Nina's information in the description box. Go follow her. Go check out Lockdown Lovelies. Thank you guys so much for watching.
And she's going to be making more content more regularly now. So that's
Yes.
good. There'll be a lot of delectable stuff out
Yes.
there.
We're going back into business, so watch this space.
Business, baby.
Business.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Love you all. Love you.
Say bye.
Bye.